Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MySpace podcast. I'm your host, Miley, and today I will be reviewing the book Wings of Darkness by Ella Walker Henderson. This is book number 3 of the Dark Sky series. So yes, also I was given a cherry icy, so my tongue is really red. So yeah, don't know why I had to mention that, but I did. I love ices, so I'm in a weird mood. The icy has counteracted the bad mood from the Chinese Grand Prix for me, because both McLaren drivers didn't even get to go. But it's okay. There was other good stuff that happened. I'm just sad. Also stayed up super late to watch that, and it's messed me up. So we'll see how going to sleep tonight works. Anyways, let's get into this book, shall we? Rating, 6 out of 10. I know there's people who like the book. It's just one of those, like, people like it, I don't like it, and it's different reasons, because I went and went like, okay, fine, I'll read your guys' other people's ratings just because I wanted to. To me, this whole book was just, it seemed to just all be about her not wanting to marry him. And it's because she didn't know how he truly felt, and also she didn't feel like she was ready, which is, like, good on her for not doing something when she knows she's not ready. But also, like, please. And they talk about it, but also they wouldn't fully talk about it. And when they'd come back to the conversation, it would just seem like they took another step back instead of forward. So it's hard. And then also, neither of them could tell how the other truly felt. Like, he knew that she liked him, but then he also felt like, I'm guessing he felt like she didn't really like him the way he likes her, because he can feel all of her feelings and she can't really feel his. That's a whole him problem, though. And even when they did tell each other how they felt, they didn't believe each other. It was just getting really annoying. Oh, and then they brought her mother back to court, and I was just like, wasn't she just threatened by the crown prince? Like, didn't he just say he was going to try and kill her? Like, why are we bringing her into court now? And it just seems like, oh, well, we have Car now, so he'll protect her. Okay, and that's a whole nother confusing thing, honestly. That's the plot/storyline. So, in the last book, she was drugged. She was kidnapped, but not by evil people. It was by Car and Ronnie. Or Rami. I think that's it. Anyways, that's Ilaria's younger brother. Car is just, like, a friend of him. Also, after she realizes this, she kind of just goes willingly with them, so she wasn't really kidnapped anymore. Anyways, they're part of the Ring of Light, who are fighting against the Ring of Darkness, which is what Brevin Rayner, his father, are a part of. And the Ring of Light wants Zeta for a purpose. And Luca was just following orders from Car, and I guess he has to because Car is his sponsor. And we also only see Luca, like, twice in this book, which is kind of sad. And then Eris and Zeta meet up again in Orinth, where the main castle is. They have a bit out of make-out session when they first meet up. Then there's some jealousy between the two because they're at a ball and they're both dancing with different people, and they're like, oh, I hate this. She gets to meet up with her friends again, though, during that ball, and she tells them some things, and then a prophecy is revealed, which causes Zeta to think through some more things. Well, not think through, she just adds more to her plate, and it kind of becomes the heart of the relationship problems in this book for her with Eris. She does get to go out dancing, so basically clubbing with her friends, and then Eris crashes it, of course. And then she has to leave her friends again and go with Eris and his crew. And, like, I understand, but I don't understand why, but, like, why couldn't we just add some of her friends to the group? I'm like, why couldn't we? And now we're around halfway through the book. Actually, we probably are halfway through the book. That was the first half. And then I have even less to say for the second half. So, they end up going to the mines where one of their big, actually it's like the only battle place that they have going on. She's reunited with Group 14, and Aerith gets to meet them too, so there's that. But there's not a lot of that. There's some, I like it, but I wish we had more. She and Aerith go looking for something, but they don't find it. They do have some deeper conversations in this half of the book, but also most of the time it ends with Zaya going, we would never work out together, or he's being forced into his feelings, and his feelings, well, not forced, he's being forced into this marriage, and his feelings will change in a couple years. They're not getting married, though. There's a fly. Anyways, it got really annoying. Then some more things happened. They meet up with someone, but it doesn't go to plan. Then some more things happen, and then part of the prophecy starts to become true and causes her to say yes to another part of the prophecy. However, they were too late, and now it's probably going to be virtually impossible for them to enact that part of the prophecy. Great. Now to Zeta. So, I first wrote, I don't really know what to say about her, then I've written like a whole paragraph. She goes from like one form of being ruled over to another, but also not the same. Like there was Brev, and it wasn't a good type of ruling over. Like he tried to literally control her life, but now he's kind of lost a hold of her, but not completely. But also he has. Then there was Felix. He's her captain, so of course he's gonna have a rule. Of course he's gonna be higher up and have, she's gonna have to listen to him. And then there's now Eris. So yeah. And then she also doesn't completely like how people tell her what to do, and like how she has no choice, but also then like you kind of chose this life. Like of course there's always gonna be somebody on top of you telling you what to do. But then also she never actually seems to go and try to and fight to get higher up in status. She just kind of lets other people drag her up there. It's kind of what it seems like. And she wants to gain more independence, but she wants to gain it from somebody who wants to give her that independence. It's just hard for him because he doesn't want her to die. But he wants her to have a choice. And then she gets angry at him when his protective side comes up. And then they can never have a civil conversation about any of these things. Like she can't, like he's trying, can't you tell? He just doesn't want you to die. Don't get angry at each other. He also gets angry at her, so it's a whole thing. And then it's a whole she never listens to him when he tells her how he feels. Well, actually, it's really hard for him to open up. It's more she never asks. She just assumes that he doesn't like her. However, I do like how she knows she's not ready for another relationship again. But also, she says some stuff sometimes that is like, oh, she is ready for a relationship, but she's not ready for a relationship, and it's just like, I don't really know what's happening anymore. And it airs. He seems nicer and more open in this book, but also he's still super closed off. He has a hard time saying how he feels because he's just really closed off, and that's how he grew up. That's how he was raised. Like, he had to close off his feelings, not let any of them out. But he tries to open up more for her. At least closer to the end he does, when she finally asks him to. I would have thought it would be sooner because she's mentioned it before, how she doesn't like how closed off he is. How closed off he is from her. But now he's finally doing it. And then her reaction was not the best reaction, if I'm being completely honest. He's really protective of her. He just doesn't want her to die. But also he wants her to have her freedom and a choice, so he gives her that, but also he doesn't like it when she uses that and then she ends up being in danger. And he gets angry at her for that. And then he also gets angry at her for the fact that a part of her still cares for Brev, but like, can you blame her? He was her best friend her whole life, and she was kind of in love with him for a while too. Like, feelings like that don't just stop. They have a hard time shutting off. Like, she is angry at him. She doesn't like him anymore. But he gets so angry. He's like, you could have killed him, blah, 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 blah. I'm like... And like, yes, she cares for him. Like, that can't just turn off. He'd have to do something really, really bad for that. And yes, almost killing her is really, really bad. But also, like, even then, like, one can't just shut off these feelings. Like, yes, she doesn't like him anymore, but she can't turn off the part of her that still cares for him in some way, because there's some times where she still sees him as that boy that she used to know and used to care for so much. And Brev uses that to his advantage. He knows that she can see him like that, and she still cares for him. And Brev also has this whole thing in his head that, like, she's still in love with him, but it's just, you have to give her some space. Like, yes, she knows that he is evil and he has manipulated her, but it's hard. So yeah, it's and the slow burn is starting to actually starting to not be a slow burn anymore. Just starting for them to get together. I've gotten, like, my cheeks have gotten really hot. That's why I'm, like, rushing through this. My tongue is really red. I still got my nail polish on. It's kind of dying, but, you know. Spoilers now. Thank you very much. Spoilers. Starting with the prophecy. So it basically states that the Shield Queen is going to save them all. The Shield Queen is going to save them all. There's a whole bunch, there's more to it, but, like, that gives the gist. And that basically means she's supposed to become queen, so, you know, marrying Eris. However, because of this, she then starts to be like, oh, I'm forcing him into marrying me, and I don't want to force him into that. And it's just her assuming that he would be forced into this, that he doesn't like her in that way. She just assumes, she continues to assume, even when he shows her that he likes her and wants to be with her, and she just keeps assuming, like, oh, I can't do this, he's gonna fall in love with somebody else, his feelings are gonna be the same in, like, 5 years. I want to hit her over the head. Like, so annoying. And also, for them to get married, the best chance they'll have at getting permission, you know, is getting that from his grandfather, who is currently dying throughout this whole book. You know how that's going to turn out. Now, to the meeting. I don't remember if I talked about the meeting. I think I did. They met with someone? Yeah. So, the meeting was with Brev. And the plan is that they're going to try to capture him. That doesn't go to plan. It doesn't. It turns out that he has powers now. You know, shadow powers, basically. From the Decorous Stone? I'm doing this off of memory, so that may not actually be the name, but I know it's around there. I didn't want to go look. There's a couple stones that can give you power, I guess. And I'm guessing he's the only one right now who has those powers, because Raynor is, like, using him as the experiment. Evil people. And then after that, that's when she has that whole argument with Eris. Now, to that ending. So, Raynor has mined his way into where the Monorist Stone is. That's the stone from which the kings get their power from that. Like, you touch it and then get power. However, Eris and Zeta figure it out. Well, actually, Zeta's like, what's going on down here? We have to go check it out, blah, 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 blah. And Raynor wasn't there, but Breve was. And they do end up making them run away, all those people. There wasn't that many of them. However, both Eris and Zeta do end up touching the stone, and they get powers from it as well. Which, honestly, is basically treason, because they're not supposed to touch it. Only kings are before they're coronated. And then her getting those powers is what causes her to say yes to being queen. which also I'm pretty sure has hurt Eris's feelings a little bit, because now it just seems like she's gonna be his queen because of the power and stuff. I can't. And so, like, I'd always choose him, and I'm like, yeah, tell him that. He doesn't know that. This is when that's when everything happened. It's gonna be a whole thing in the next book, isn't it? And then Luca comes running up to give them the news that the king is dead, and now their father is king. So, there goes Zeta and Eris' chance of getting married, because, he's gonna stop because he hates Zeta. And then the book ends. Also, Eris's father, the crown prince, Prince Augustus, I think, he may be a traitor as well, because he's definitely working with Quintus, who is working with Rainer, so, like, he's working with the evil people. I don't know, because I thought he hated Rainer. Like, that was the whole big part of the book in the first, and, it's a lot. Was it my favorite? Okay, so before, I didn't know what book I was going to read, but then right before I decided to start filming, I got this Instagram video of a book, and I went, okay, I've seen this a bunch of times, maybe I should just read it. I don't remember what it's called. I did, like, 20 minutes ago. It's a romance book, taking a little switch from fantasy to romance, and then we'll probably go back to fantasy. It's all on my Kindle right now, too. I need to go to Barnes & Noble and get myself some more books. There is a book that I really want, though. It's called Heartless. It's called Heartless. I just want to read it. I'm scared, though. I'm scared that it's going to be... You know what? I know there are some books where... Okay, never mind. I don't need to start going there. The Chinese Grand Prix, that was a race. I saw my Instagram go back like 2 months, most likely. I don't want to talk about it here because, like, it's not gonna be posted right after. Instagram's more up to date. YouTube's never gonna be up to date. It takes a lot to get videos onto YouTube, onto the shorts. It's just, I can't do it on my phone because it doesn't like to upload. Actually, my phone just doesn't like it. So I have to upload it onto something else. That I either somehow get it onto my computer or get it onto Google Drive. And then that takes forever. And then I have to get it onto YouTube, and then it has to do its whole loady thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So yes. Maybe I will upload videos. Maybe I won't. But for YouTube, it'd probably be more when the video of the books are coming out, so I have some time. Because right now, filming this, the video that came out yesterday was for another book that we can look, actually, I have it up. Yeah, I have like 7 books to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 books before. 6 videos before I have to really think about putting my Instagram videos up. I also have to go edit like 5. Anyways, that's it. I have a lot of work to do. So much. I also really want to sleep. I blame staying up till 2 a.m. Like, why did I decide to do that? When the McLarens were out, I should have just gone back to bed. I should have just gone to bed. I should have been like, okay, bye, I'll watch you in the morning. But nope, I decided to be like, I'll still watch it. Because I've already committed, And then I almost fell asleep. I was like, done. And then, the race finished. Kimmy celebrated with his team, and I went, okay, good night. I haven't watched the podium yet. So I need to go see that. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching and listening, and have a good rest of your day, night, week, month, year, life, and goodbye.